Now let's go through my statement of purpose. This was the statement of purpose which helped me get my visa. So this is basically 3 pages. Be careful, you should not exceed 3 pages because the visa officer is pretty busy and they don't have time to go through 4 or 5 pages of your SOP. If the SOP is beyond 3 pages, try to reduce the size of margins so that it fits in 3 pages. As you can see, I have done some basic formatting so to highlight important points in my SOP. So the visa officer does not need to search through text. I have divided it in introduction, academic and professional background, motivation for studying that particular course, why I'm choosing Canada over other countries, why I'm choosing Lambton and a particular campus over other campuses and colleges, and what are my future plans pertaining to India. And last one is the conclusion paragraph. Look at the introduction paragraph. I have designed it in such a way that after reading this introduction paragraph, the visa officer gets complete idea of my SOP. If he needs to see any more details, then he can go through these paragraphs. But otherwise, all summaries of these paragraphs are present in the introduction paragraph itself. So I want the visa officer just to read the SOP till here and approve my visa application because he is busy and I don't want to waste his time. So let's see what function each of these paragraphs play. So first paragraph is basically my basic introduction, like I am so and so years of age, I have completed my bachelor's from this university and I have been working at this company in this position, and these are my hobbies. Basic introduction. This establishes me as a typical candidate. Like since I'm applying for financial planning program, I'm saying that I have done a bachelor in commerce, and I'm interested in business and finance and all of that. So and I also have done, like, maybe I'm a financial planner, I'm a banker in India. So that way he kinds of gets the idea of my past and sees that I am a nice candidate for a financial planning program. Then, after describing my past, I am talking about my application, like I am applying for financial planning program. And I am also revealing my ambition. My ambition is to be a financial advisor. So the visa officer gets a clear cut idea that I have a clear goal in my life, and that's why to achieve this goal, I need to do this program. I am also saying that I am trying to improve India's financial literacy. So this helps to build a case that I will go back to India. You have to mention the fact that you are going back to India, and you can't just say that I have a lot of property in India, or my family is staying in India. You have to mention it from a career perspective, that your career, your financial future is in India, and that's why you are going back to India or your home country. So I have given an emotional aspect here, that I want to help my countrymen, and that's why I will go back to India to improve India's financial literacy. So now I am saying that these are my goals to be financial advisor in India, and to achieve that goal, I need to do this program. And in this campus, and I have given basic details of my study. Now I am saying that I have completed I have fulfilled all the admission criteria and received an unconditional letter of acceptance. This is very important because a conditional letter of acceptance probably leads to rejection of visa. So I would recommend you to mention this word, unconditional letter of acceptance. And I am also putting forward my achievement, which was a $3,000 scholarship from the Canadian college. So next, this paragraph connects my future to my distant future, which is coming back to India, and kind of again gives a good idea to visa officer that okay, this guy is commerce graduate and now he's pursuing a field in commerce and he will go back to India. So far he has no reason to reject my application. Next, I am saying that I'm financially very well off and I don't have any financial problems. So visa officer again feels good that I'm not going to take away jobs of Canadians. I already am financially uh, financially okay. So I'm not going to do any part-time jobs and all. So that's the impression that he gets, which he will always appreciate. Next, I am mentioning that basic conclusion that I am hereby presenting the study visa application, and I'm also giving basic requirements that I have done. I have scored IELTS bands of this. So another concern that visa officer might have, that is the Indian student. They may not be good at English, so how will they study in Canada? All of that. So I'm saying that my IELTS score is of 9 bands. So that way, the visa officer is again feeling good that this applicant is a good applicant, and probably he is going to accept my visa or grant me the visa. I've also done the GIC, paid first year fees, and all of the regular things that you hear about STS category. I have mentioned them here. So again, I am reconfirming that all of the things are done, and I am confident, and that's why I'm putting them forward, such that the visa officer would be so happy to read this paragraph that he would probably grant me the visa right there and then, without even bothering to read other paragraphs. Then I'm saying that I have attached relevant documents, my resume and mark sheets and all other things for your reference. By this point, visa officer is very happy, and probably now he's going to just skim to the SOP and approve my application. Be Another important tip is to not boast too much, or like some people like to tend to write a SOP like a poet or something. They try to give motivational speeches and all in there. So I don't think that is a great idea. I mean, visa officer knows that you are a student. Don't try to be a over smart person. Don't try to give a motivational speech in your SOP. Don't try to put phrases like you are a philosopher or a poet or something. Try to be humble. Humility is very important. Don't try to brag about yourself. Mention your achievements like this, but in a humble way. Don't brag about yourself. That always puts a bad impression in front of any person, whether it be visa officer or your friends. So that is one general principle to keep in mind. Next, we come to academic background. So I've mentioned my basics. I have done bachelor's of commerce in this college, and my GPA was this, and percentage was this. Then I'm trying to connect my academic background, which was, let's say, commerce, to my future studies. So I'm mentioning a few subjects and uh, how I how I got interested in finance because of those subjects. For example, I got interested in finance because of accounting and economics. So I'm mentioning that accounting, taxation, macroeconomics piqued my curiosity, which kick-started my investing journey. In the accounting course, I learned to prepare balance sheet, earning statements, cash flow statements from the ground up with journal entries, which provided me holistic understanding of the accounting process. While macroeconomics helped me to understand structure of India's economy and high growth trajectory. This phrase is important. High growth trajectory. I am again implying that I like India rather than Canada, and I will return to my homeland. This is again a kind of implied statement that I am returning back, which will again make visa officer very happy. So here you can see that function of this paragraph is to connect my past with my future goals. Currently my near future goal is to study financial planning. So I'm trying to pick out a few things from my past, like Bachelor of Commerce, and saying that these things had piqued my curiosity in investing, and now I'm going to financial planning. So far the journey or the profile sounds very uh, perfect, or you can say typical. So visa officer would be happy because visa officers don't like if you are changing streams. So like if you are going from IT to finance, you had background in IT and you are choosing a finance course in Canada, so that will be a little difficult. If you are in accounting and you are going to for an IT course, that will be a little difficult. You have more charges for visa rejection. Next, I talk about my professional background, which is again in commerce. So I say that I've been working in this firm and I joined here, and I've been working and doing a lot of stuff in accounting and all. So I prepared this. I got this experience and all, which helped me to implement my knowledge that I gained in university in practical life. And again, I am connecting that to stock market, which is again connected to financial planning and wealth management, and all the other domains like that, like financial advisory. So next I go ahead with my chartered financial analyst institutes investment foundations program. This is a free program, everyone can do this. So I have done this, and I have, again, the function of this paragraph is to show that I am interested in finance, I am interested in financial planning. Another reason for me to apply for financial planning program. I am not doing this just because I want salary, but I am passionate about this field itself. So this is what these two paragraphs are trying to convince. Next, yeah, here I have mentioned that some of my investments failed. Earlier I had mentioned that it's kick-started my investing journey, but later some of my investments failed. So this, what this helps to do is to mention that I can't do unstructured learning, and I need a structured format like the financial planning program in Canada, because that is a structured course. I can obviously learn finance and stock market and financial planning through YouTube videos or anything, but my investments in stock market failed, which made me realize that I can't rely on unstructured self-learning. This is another reason for me to look for a postgraduate diploma. So that helps to explain that. So this is what it is. So that is the function. Next is my motivation for studying the financial planning program. This is where I get to the core part of my SOP. So this is I have put a emotional point over here to connected it with my family. Like I have said that my father faces difficulties in managing his finances. You can also put like your uncle or brother, but you can say your father because he's from older generation. He's not exposed to stock market and all. So that is a good thing to say. So that kind of builds an emotional argument. So I also realized that there are so many Indians who are facing the same difficulties. So out of the reason of patriotism and all, I want to help them. I want to help this generation manage their finances. That's why I will return to India. Again, I am implying that I am going to return to India. Heavily, I am implying that again and again. Thus, I decided I want to establish financial advisory firm to help Indians. Again, I am saying I am going to help Indians, not Canadians. So I am going to return back to India. Now I am justifying why I chose Canada. So when I realized that I need to gain formal education in finance to achieve my goals, my first choice was to look for courses in India. So now I am saying that in India, majorly we look for CAs and MBAs in finance, but those are broad fields. CA is about accounting. MBA in finance is like MBA generally gives you like knowledge of HR and marketing too, but I want specifically in finance. So and especially in financial planning, so that is a little irrelevant to my liking. So that's why I'm not going for them. Then I'm giving an emotional argument again that I like Western education system and I want to experience that. So here this is the conclusion. Hence I decided to look for education abroad after consulting with several international study consultants and researching on LinkedIn. Again, I am implying that I have done my homework, I have done the research, I am sure about myself. I am not just going because some educational consultant is throwing me to Canada. I have done the research, I have done LinkedIn networking and all, and that's how I was able to reach the conclusion that this is best trajectory for me. So I have also here mentioned that I was able to find financial planning courses in Ontario. So I am now I'm focusing on Ontario specifically. I'm building an argument why I chose Ontario over Vancouver or like British Columbia and other provinces in Canada. Now here I am flattering Canada and saying that I find Canadians very I hold the Canadians in high esteem because of their welcoming culture and tolerance and friendliness towards students of other ethnicities, which is true. Additionally, the cost of education is low in Canada compared to other countries. Look at how I mentioned additionally, hence, and all these like connecting sentences. If you remember your IELTS, we are supposed to use these connecting words to connect your ideas. So you can see that in my SOP there is a clear flow of idea. I am not just putting words willy-nilly anywhere. I am using the words like additionally, hence. So that justifies my IELTS score. Let's say you are an IELTS score of 5 and you get SOP written from a professional writer, and he writes like the SOP magnificently, And the SOP, the visa officer will be confused. Like when you score a IELTS score of 5 and your SOP seems to be of band 8 or 9, this is a fake SOP. He will immediately get that. So you have to put love in your SOP. I took 1 month to design this SOP. So you have to make sure you are implementing the ideas mentioned in IELTS as well. So here I am building up the conclusion. For the above reasons, I chose to go to Canada, mainly because it's cheaper and Canadians are friendly, and I don't get the course I want in India. These are the three arguments here. Now I'm saying why I'm going to Lambton College. So I'm saying Lambton is one of the oldest colleges in Ontario, which offers postgraduate diploma and graduate certificate courses. They are based on market relevant skills in addition to theory. Now I'm trying to justify why I'm choosing a particular campus over other campuses. You have to justify that as well. So now I'm saying that in Sarnia campus there are co-op opportunities, great faculty. The campus is huge. There are a lot of facilities, etc. And Sarnia is cheap anyway. So and I also got a $3,000 sponsorship. So scholarship. So that is another reason for me to select that campus. So that justifies the my college and campus. Now this is the most important part of SOP. Future plans. Future plans uh, have to be always connected to India. You are supposed to return back to India. That's what you have to imply in the SOP. Even if you are not going to, you have to say that in the SOP. And basically, I've seen a lot of visas being rejected. Most of the people make a mistake that they put a CA report, they put a ITR report saying that their father's assets are here and their family is here, all of that. But all of that can be sold. Your family can immigrate. All of that can be done. So these are not real reasons. The visa officer wants to see that your career is in India. That's what's important. No matter how many CA reports or ITRs you attach, no matter how many property valuations you attach in your visa application, your visa will get rejected if your career is not in India. So I here in the future plans paragraph I'm trying to describe why India is the only place for me. Nothing else. Canada is not going to work for me. I'm going to return to India, which I have been heavily been implying that uh, in earlier parts of my SOP. Now I'm getting down to the core. So in my visa application, I did not attach any ITR. I did not attach any property valuation. I just attached some FD receipts. That's all, just to showcase, just to provide evidence for this statement, which I mentioned that there are savings for their parents have savings for me. So that was the evidence for that statement. Now I am going to justify why I am coming back to India. So sorry for zooming in later. Guys, this is my first video, so please help by liking it. I will provide the entire SOP to you. Let's start with this. I would need knowledge and practical experience to start my own financial advisory firm. So here there are two reasons. So in terms of knowledge, I'm going to get the knowledge from the program. So I went to the course list of program, picked up a few courses and put them here, that these are the skills that the program will teach me, and these are required uh, for me to be a financial advisor. Then I am explaining that for practical experience, I'm actually not even going to be dependent on Canada itself. I'm coming back to India and I'm going to intern or learn from these companies. I'm not dependent on Canada. Okay, I have mentioned the name of companies which are hiring for the position of financial planner in India. This is a very, very important paragraph. Why? Because it helps to justify that you have done your career research. You are not mentioning the name of CIBC or Toronto Dominion. You are mentioning Bajaj Capital, Tata Capital, Anand Rathi. So that implies that you are coming back to India. You have done your research. You have already made up your mindset. That's why you have done research on LinkedIn. You have done research on job market and all in India. Now I'm saying that I will establish a financial advisory firm in Mumbai after I have worked in the industry for a while. So that kind of builds an argument. So if you look at the structure of my SOP, it has always been shaped as a narrative. I was always trying to imply that I'm coming back to India to start a financial advisory firm. In every paragraph that I have written, you can get some hint or some idea or something implied that I am coming back to India to start a financial advisory firm. And so that's why this is called a flow of ideas. So if your flow of idea is correct in your SOP, you will get a visa approval. So finally, I'm revealing the fact that I always wanted to be a financial advisor. I've done my research because I'm mentioning the name of companies. That is very important. You can also mention salaries, perks, and all of anything that implies that you have done your research. Now I'm trying to justify why do I want to open my own business. Here I say that I am fairly confident of my plans for establishing a financial advisory firm because it's India's richest city and plenty of customers. There are a lot of HNIs, and India is going to grow in future, and there will be a lot of HNIs, and their money needs to be managed. So I will be the one managing that. So this is basically a link to some statistics to Economic Times or Times of India, saying that HNI population is going to increase. So you have to give statistics. You can't just say anything willy-nilly. You have to provide evidence for every claim that you are making here. For example, when I say that I have done research, when I am implying that, I try to provide evidence by mentioning the name of companies. When I make this claim that I will return back to India, I provide a claim by citing another source. Here I am saying that growth potential is immense because in India most of the people don't invest in mutual funds. So I have mentioned statistics where it says that only mutual fund penetration in India is meager 11%, while the global average is 62%. That is another reason for me to come back to India. Again, I am implying the same thing. This is because of public distrust of bankers and coercive misleading statistics. So basically, I'm trying to say that the current status quo in the industry are bad, and I'm going to replace that. Moreover, lack of financial education in schools, lack of awareness in alternate investment avenues, better benefits of approaching financial advisor, among other people, are also to blame. So I'm trying to justify why India is so bad at financial planning right now. Trust is the currency of financial planning firms, and it is clear to me that many are discontent with the old banks and insurance agents' sales practices. A new way of fee only advisory firms is replacing them. So, fee only advisory firms is basically the thing that I have been driving at. So, I am going to start my own fee only advisory firm because their interests lies with that of client, that is wealth generation and not sales commissions. Fee only advisory firms are riding a growth trend of consulting licensed financial advisors before making critical financial decisions, which separate the Indian millennial generation from their parents, which invested capital without any professional advice primarily in real estate or gold, which led to suboptimum return and disproportionate risk to their portfolio. Look at the kind of language I'm using here. The language or vocabulary being used is particular to the financial planning domain. This is another reason. The visa officer will realize that I am an enthusiastic stock market trader or financial planner because I'm using those words here. So that is another reason for him to kind of puts a impression in front of him that I am a interested in finance, really interested in finance, because I'm using those words. That is heavily implied over there. This also mentions that trust is a currency of financial planning firms. So this implies that I have built up an understanding of industry. I know what it takes to build up the top line. I know what it takes to build a business in this industry. So this is what it is implying. I not only intend to ride this trend of fee only advisory firm, but also to make forays into digital space by adopting an online first approach favored by young generation, by making personal finance related content freely available through blog and YouTube channels and other social media, which would act as a customer acquisition tool and also a way to help society for free. This puts a good impression of me in front of the visa officer. This shows that I am a good guy and I am trying to help the society along with making money. So this is kind of gives a positive impression of my personality. Here I am kind of showing my business skills. I am showing the fact that I have done the research not only on the career aspect, on not only on the not only the basis that these firms are hiring, but I also know how to start my own business. I know why my business will be successful because of these two things. This is the reason. This is what it takes to start a business in India. It needs trust. It needs a few only advisory firms. You can't be a sales based agent. And then I'm kind of giving confident close to this paragraph, and I'm moving forward to my conclusion. And conclusion is very basic. I say that because of my skills and my talents, I think I will be a great fit for this course, and I'm confident that this course is right for me. And then I basically close the SOP and say thank you to the visa officer. You don't need to mention like anything like uh, thank you, or like the other things like people mention at the end of a letter, like thanking you, signing off the signature. That is not required at all. You also don't need to mention to visa officer, uh, Canada High Commission. It's not a letter. You don't need to write it as a letter. So this is the most important part of SOP. You have to write it this way. You won't face any problems if you write it this way. So let me just give you a small glimpse of the SOP, so you can just read through this. I will slowly scroll down the SOP. Look at the introduction, academic background and professional background. This, you can pause the video and look at every paragraph. So now basically you get an understanding of how to write your own SOP, and you don't need to worry. If you write SOP in correct way, you won't face any rejection. If visa officer has to reject something, they have to provide reasons. There are several reasons why a visa officer might reject your SOP. Like he is confident, he is not sure that you might be able to speak English, you are returning to your own country, or any of the other reasons. They are just not going to reject your SOP if your SOP is good. Now I have left no reason for the visa officer to reject my SOP. He can't reject my SOP because I'm not coming back to India. He can't reject my SOP because my English is bad. He can't reject my SOP because I have not justified which college, country, and campus I am selecting. I've justified everything. There are no reasons for me to for him to reject my SOP, and that's why my SOP did not get rejected. So that's all. Be confident and good luck for your visa application. Thank you. So if you found the video useful, please let me know down in the comments. Please like and subscribe to the channel because your support is very much needed right now. The channel is in its infancy. There are 0 subscribers, 0 likes, and there is no support from anyone else. So this is my first video. I apologize for the video and audio quality. I will improve over time, and please consider liking and sharing this video because I want the channel's growth to be all organic. I don't want to be spamming the channel link in any WhatsApp or Facebook group. I would really appreciate if you could like the video, share it with your friends, comment, or do anything else that will help YouTube promote the video. Please let me know in the comments how you found it useful. Please recommend any other topic, or if you have any general queries about SOP, I will help to address them. If anything is missing in the video, please let me know in the comments so I can I also feel motivated with your comments. So please consider doing that, and have a great day. And I wish that your visa is granted as soon as possible. Thank you.